J.C. Newman Cigar Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Smokin Nicole.
So we're live, guys.
Yeah, I know. There's a sound over intro that we wait for.
Oh,
And just as it ended, you spoke up, and I was just about to lean into the intro.
so what sound though? What's the intro? What's it say?
Have you ever met my friend Matt?
I don't know if he
Looks a little bit like Superbad. Real deep voice.
Yeah, so there's a
that's
voiceover.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to repeat what it says?
That's uncomfortable.
Should I do it like trying to?
Yeah.
I can't go that low.
Try to do it his way though.
Right.
On the air?
Yeah.
I'm like a fool of myself.
It's
I mean,
fine. Just
the fuck.
Give it a shot.
Well.
So for those of you tuning in, the voiceover you can always hear, but if we have a guest on, they can't hear it.
Yeah.
And
John hasn't been, and I don't think John's been on since it's been there because he's been away for a little while, being a family man.
But do it.
You're like putting me on the spot.
Come on.
Well, the thing is, it's just weird because if you don't know that it's there on our end, we're just staring at each other, and I'm like.
To be fair, normally with the guests we tell them, and I just didn't tell you because I didn't think.
And it's been that long because we started the intro because it's for the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios, and that's the intro.
Yeah, he just says live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios in Boston, Massachusetts. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your host, Matt Tobacco.
Okay. See, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But, so, yeah, perfect. So, no, I just thought we were staring at each other, and I'm like, all right, so is this what happened to the show now? We just stare at each other and we just start talking?
My apologies. I did not brief you on some of the changes that were made while you were away.
No problem. Well, hey, good evening. Welcome to the show, right?
And starting this weekend, the Spare Notes show will start off as live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios. Welcome to the Spare Notes series with Matt Tobacco and William Cooper.
We have a new studio sponsorship for that show, and which a new backdrop is coming.
Well, it's here.
That show.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It's in a bag. I haven't taken it out yet. It's ready to roll, though, for this weekend. So don't miss the Spare Notes show this weekend because, once again, William Cooper is ready to get fired up. I know he's listening. Hello, Coop. Good evening. I hope you're enjoying your meal because I know that's what he's doing right now. It's time for him and his wife to share a meal and kind of decompress before they get into the show later tonight. So don't miss that. But no, thank you for being here, guys. Welcome to the show. John's been away, as I said, being a family man. Once again, we're very proud of you, and we love all three of you very, very much. So thank you for being back. It's great to be here. Now, if you came here looking for Abe Dababna from Smoke Inn, or KMA, if that's how you know him, he unfortunately cannot be here tonight because he is very sick.
Yep.
And so we have rescheduled that show for Tuesday because Abe wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the Great Smoke. And
he teased us because he has a big announcement.
He has some announcements to make that he's going to make on the show.
Yes.
So don't forget to tune into that show. It'll be this coming Tuesday. I think that's the 4th.
It is the 4th at 5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. Eastern.
So a special show. We will repost it again.
Yes. We'll get the information. So unfortunately, once again, Abe couldn't be here. We wish him...
we hope he feels better.
Yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yep.
That he's okay. And we will sit down with him on Tuesday night. But for now, we want to sit down and kind of do a little year in review since it didn't even click to us. This is our last show of 2021. So here we are. John's back. A lot we can ask him about, a lot he can fill us in on. First things first, Nicole, what are you smoking over there?
Ooh. So this sounds horrible to those of you listening at home, but I'm smoking Matthew's birthday gift. I had bought him a bundle of these, and it is the Davidoff Dominicana.
The Toro.
The Toro.
Which you can find at our... I'm sorry, I butchered that.
You really did.
If you head over to twoguyscigars.com, you can find that cigar for $24.19 per cigar, or a box of 10 for $228.99. That is a great cigar that I want to say that came out this year. Fantastic. And it's like I told Nicole, it's not like she says, like, oh, I feel bad smoking your birthday gift. It's like all that was just an excuse to buy cigars.
But
so
do we ever not need an excuse?
Once they're here, and it doesn't really matter. It was just an excuse to spend the money. That's all it is. So don't feel bad. I'm smoking the Arturo Fuente Double Chateau. A box of 20 of those will set you back $155.99. John, what are you smoking with us tonight?
I'm smoking the brand new, coming out in a couple weeks, the Golden Anniversary TAA 50th Tercera edition. This is the third edition, and this was the 2021 version. Obviously, it got pushed back from 2020 because of the COVID situation. So this is the 2021 model. It's a 6.5 by 58 box press chisel. And the one that I'm smoking here is the Maduro version, which is the first version that's going to be hitting shelves.
Oh, I have one of those.
A natural version as well. Yep.
Those are
I
great.
gave you, I gave you some samples of those. The samples actually went out almost 2 years ago. So I'm really excited to have this out. It's a great smoke, really substantial. Looks great, the packaging, and that's what I'm lighting up tonight. I got one of the only boxes that are in existence until the new year.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And those will also be available at 2guyscigars.com. So don't forget to go over there and check that out. That is the number 2, guyscigars.com. John, so it's been a pretty successful year for all of us. You became a dad. You also got married to your sweetheart. Look at the way he grins and gets red when you bring it up. Like,
it's not,
so
it's
giddy.
Not that, man. So much shit has gone on in the last 365 days. I just need a break, man. We had a record-breaking year in terms of cigar business. I got in the last 365 days. I got into a relationship, engaged, married, had a baby, had gender reveal parties, had engagement parties. I just got wrapped up 2 Christmases because we got a big Latin family down here in Orlando, and we were up in Maine for the week of Christmas in the Northeast there. So it's just been a marathon of a year. I mean, I don't think there's anything I haven't done in this last 365 days, and I've told my wife, and I've told you I'm close with. 2022 is going to be, I'm going to focus on my work, I'm going to focus on my family, and there's nothing new is going to really happen. We're going to take like a year and just see what happens. Because this last year was a marathon, man. It was a marathon and a sprint at the same time.
I know, even you and I being as close as we are, we haven't had time to really, chat or hang out a lot lately either, because we've both just had so much going on. It really has. It's been a crazy year, especially when you're becoming a parent too. I mean, I know that's definitely going to be it's a handful. So just
the baby's been a blast, man. She's 10 weeks old tomorrow. She sleeps well. She's been great. She had her first cold. She fought that off in like 2 or 3 days. So the baby's been really, really good, and she's been certainly a blessing and a fun time. But this, 2022 for me, there's a lot to reflect on this last year. 2022 for me needs to be a year of not doing everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a
marriage, baby, it was just a lot.
It's gonna be a very down low, chill year. Just trying to enjoy the ride. Yeah, I'll agree. And you touched on that. It was a record-breaking year in cigar sales, not only for you but for most people in the industry. I mean, we talk about, what happened this year. I mean, it was weird. That's the first thing you should say. It was weird. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Just a lot of unconventional things happened. New things happened. Things changed. Trade show, definitely a different trade show. Smaller. It was weird. First show back. COVID. Cigar events.
Cigar events that happened. Cigar events that were canceled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, but the biggest thing is the industry, there's another boom of cigars. It's very safe to say that. There is a new cigar boom happening right now. Companies like LFD, all the major manufacturers, the smaller manufacturers got a lot more exposure this year, I think, than they maybe would have years past. But I think this year was definitely a good year for those smaller companies to grow. The bigger companies continue to flourish, although that also comes with, you're seeing a lot of those companies just being so back ordered or backed up just because there's such a demand. And like John always has said during the year, congratulations to the consumers, because they have officially outsmoked the manufacturer's capability to produce product, because that demand is through the roof. Everybody wants cigars. It's been good though, because that's good business. People are selling. People got money coming in. It's great for the industry, but also insanely busy. Just insanely busy. People like John and the Gomez family who owns La Flor Dominicana, like trying to keep up with that and make sure that their customers are satisfied. Retailers, they got people coming in. They may have an online business. They got orders going left and right. You know, Abe down at Smokin, he just built a new warehouse just to keep up with his online demand. I mean, I mean, you look at it from every angle. You ask everyone, they're telling you like, "Wow, we had to really we had to step up our game this year." Like, it was just a lot more going on. So I mean, yeah, it's been a good year, and it's been really busy, and it's been good for us as well. You know, we've definitely accomplished a lot this year, and you know, we have a lot more we want to achieve. But 2021 was good to us. So I think that that's safe to say, and I'm really confident in that. And I think it was a great year, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, even just for our team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to see 2022 as good as 2021 was for some smaller and medium-sized brands. I think 2022 is going to be even bigger, because you'd think at the beginning of 2021 there was still a lot of uncertainty. Factories were at partial capacity for most of the first half of 2021. So you're going to have these smaller brands, smaller manufacturers, you know, the large, I would say the top 4 or 5 manufacturing, manufacturers in this business, and then brands alike, probably had the most growth over the last 2 years, simply because they're at the capacity to make production increases quicker. When you're smaller, you can make decisions faster, but to make a production change, you need to have more tobacco, you need to have more rollers, XYZ. It takes a lot more effort as a smaller company to bring those in because you have less people managing the whole process. So I think you're going to see in 2022 even more growth and even more success for some smaller manufacturers, smaller brand owners. The medium-sized companies are still going to really flourish. Those big companies have a large number to compete against for 2 straight years. And this industry doesn't grow traditionally double digits like it has been growing in large double digits. So 2022 is going to be really great, I believe, for small brands, brands that got really established over this last year or two. And then traditional manufacturers who are not, large publicly traded companies, or just large tobacco corporations. It's going to be a really good year. And 2021 really was a year of setting up for that success. So I think you're going to start to see a lot of that. And internally, the larger companies are going to have some more challenges, a little slower growth, and then you'll see these smaller and moderate-sized companies experiencing significant growth. And then I think you'll probably get to in 2023 where things kind of level out and become a little more of the status quo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that 2022 will be a good year. I think that...
and I'm curious to see what comes out. We had some really innovative things that came out of 2021, whether it be cigars or events, even your smoke session events, like that was very new for the cigar industry. The virtual Great Smoke of last year, that was huge.
That was record setting, if I remember correctly. I mean, that was really insane. And this was supposed to be a TGS hype video for next year, so we'll talk about this. I mean, that was great. I think Abe did a great job with that. The way they pivoted and they made it all virtual. 2022 is going to be half and half,
which will be interesting.
Yeah,
in itself.
So it's very a lot of new things did happen. We saw people like Michael Herklotz. Michael's watching with us tonight, so I want to say hello to Michael. But I saw him watching. That reminded me. You see someone like Michael who closed down huge iconic brand, shut down the Nat Sherman Townhouse, Nat Sherman International, acquired the trademarks for the brands, restarted, and re-released and relaunched those brands plus his own brand under his new company, Ferio Tego, with his partner Brendan Scott. In a very short time, he did that. They did that pretty quickly, relatively.
They did it. They did it all through the whole pandemic. So talk about, I mentioned in the show, like a lot of things happening. Like talk about on a professional level, like a guy like Michael, everything professionally that could have happened to him in the last 18 months, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you had a really significant position with a really iconic brand. They end up closing that down. He closes that down real gracefully. at the same time trying to pivot to figure out what the next step is, and then the next step being acquisition of those brands, and then restarting something from the ground up at the same time. I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround if you think about it, especially just for two people running that site. That's in terms of professionally, you can't really have it's really an example of full circle. So I mean, they did the whole ride.
And for those of you tuning in, actually next Thursday is Michael Hartklotz is going to be our first guest of 2020. Well, I can't say first guest now. I guess first primetime guest of 2022.
Right.
Since we moved Abe's episode to Tuesday. But
Sorry,
Michael will be on
Michael.
Thursday.
You were supposed to be number one, but
But
Yeah,
now
it technically is. It's a special edition.
Yes.
it's
so
So it's our prime time. So we'll dive into that story and journey for him next week.
absolutely, that's going to be a great episode. So don't miss that one. We also have a special announcement to make on that show that'll be very appropriate. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure you tune in. That's my teaser. That's my teaser for next week's show. So make sure you watch that show because we will make a special announcement while Michael is with us. So keep that in mind and don't miss that show. But yeah, no. So a lot of good things, like I said, and like we've said, that have been covered here, and a lot of great things. We do look ahead to 2022. What do we expect to see? I mean, it's hard to say, pandemic-wise, because right now, currently, there's a lot more COVID. So it seems to me like there's a lot more people who have it right now. A lot more people getting sick again. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of changes or alters kind of where we're at with that and how that affects everything else going forward. My prediction is it's going to be kind of a similar pattern to last year where the winter was hit hard, and then as the warmer months start to come back, it kind of fades back down again. People are outside and it's more spread out or however it works, and things will be better for the warmer months. That's my prediction that we'll see in terms of that stuff, how that affects the year. But, I mean, it's anyone's game at this point.
I'm curious, though, so for listeners tuning in, what are some things that you want to see from the cigar industry? Either things that have already happened that you want to see continue, or, are there new ideas that you have that someone should do? Tell me. I want to know.
And be specific. Yeah, and be specific.
Don't hold back.
Don't just be like, don't be like, I just want innovative things. Like that's not specific. That's really general. That's not an idea. So if there's something you want to see, specifically say what it is. Outline it. Let people know this is a great channel for it. I ask people that occasionally, and sometimes I get response like, "Oh, just be innovative," and I'm like, "Well, I'm asking you what you'd like to see as a consumer. Be specific. Maybe we'll do it.
That's
as a
true.
manufacturer, maybe we'll do it. As a show, maybe we'll do it too.
Like anything. Like this year, too, packaging was so innovative.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a huge thing. The advent calendars, some beautiful boxes. What was the one we just got from Joe Grow?
The Antonio sample.
Antonio.
Yeah.
And so,
that was impressive.
That was really
if you
cool.
see that box, once you're done smoking what's inside, you can actually hang it on your wall, and it's a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's like it's a twofer. Like that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, Matt Booth came out with the rebirth of Namakubi for Alzheimer's awareness, which was available in a standard 10-count box of just the cigars, or you can get what we got was the casket of the 10 coffins.
Casket.
And it was long, and it's purple, and you open it up, and all of the individual coffins inside were also painted with one large Namakubi. It was really cool, really colorful. So stuff like that. Rocky Patel came out with Disciple, White Label, and the 60 to commemorate his 60th birthday, which was...
His 60 packaging and everything looked really nice.
Yes.
Yep.
And in addition...
I've seen the White Label. It's good, but the 60's over the top.
Oh, yeah.
And in addition to those lines, I think it was all 3 lines, he also released matching humidors for those lines too, which we saw at PCA. Very beautiful. And I have to say, in terms of Rocky Patel, Rocky Patel makes good stuff. Big company, big brand, well-known brand. I just feel like the last few years, it's just been kind of a little going through the motions. And I feel like in 2021, with those new releases, he really came back and was like, no, I'm Rocky Patel. I'm here. Don't forget about me. Because those 3 releases were absolutely amazing. The Rocky Patel 60 was our number 3 cigar of the year,
Yep.
which was tough because the top three, the top three alone were very tough. They all were up for cigar of the year, and it came down to what it came down to, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But
We'll revisit that.
Rocky did a really, really good job this year.
Brought his A game.
Brought his A game. He really did. Their booth was busy at PCA. They had a lot of new stuff to show. And the cigars spoke for themselves. Really good stuff. So I'm really happy to see that coming out of Rocky Patel too. And then of course there's all the companies that we didn't see at trade shows in 2021, like LFD, McAuliffe, a lot of our friends over there, who they kind of took the year to step back and just focus on their inventory, their sales, their clients, instead of going to the trade shows and stuff like that, and trying to get new customers or trying to sell more product they already don't have. So I think definitely this was a big growing year for a lot of companies too, and it'll be interesting to see how those companies move forward for 2022. John, being the Executive Vice President of Sales for La Flor Dominicana, this is totally in your realm. Speaking on behalf of your own company, where do you guys expect to be for 2022?
So we just wrapped up today one of our top months in the history of the company in terms of shipping.
Okay.
So the 2022 is going to start off with a bang. We've got a bunch of projects in the pipeline. The factory's back to full capacity. We started a rolling. We re-upped and kind of re-energized our rolling school towards the middle of last year. So we're packed with rollers. It's a great situation going into the new year. So I'm really happy where we're at. Obviously there's a lot of back orders and there's challenges with meeting demand. When demand is exponentially higher than what you make, that's challenging. And I tell people too, back orders exist because the cigars are sold. And then for us, we make a finite, set amount of cigars each year, and we slowly increase production as we're allowed to. So 2022 should kick off real strong. So we got 4 or 5 different projects in the pipeline. Season 2 of the Gourmet Smoke Sessions is going to kick off around late February, early mid-March, depending on what's going on around the country coronavirus-wise. Don't anticipate anything along the lines like a shutdown or anything like that we saw in 2020. But there's some new projects with that. We're going to kind of adjust the way that the smoke sessions work. It's going to be essentially a culinary tasting of dishes from around the world, each dish paired with cigars at each event. And then we're also going to branch those out. Season 2 is going to be anywhere between 25 to 40 events that we're going to have. So we're going to really make that big and go with that. And then I said we got 4 or 5 other projects coming out. TAA from the last 2 years is now hitting retailers here in the next few weeks. And then we've got the next TAA coming in March. So we'll have something special lined up for that. That'll be late in 2022 or early 23. So yeah, it's just going to be an exciting year. There's a lot going on. I said, I think it's a great time to be a medium to small size manufacturer, brand owner in the premium cigar business. It's really robust. There's tons of new customers. There's new stores opening up, new high-end lounges. So I'm looking forward to being able to engage with more of them next year. As we really had a hold on new customers over the last 18 months. So yeah, it's exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to the new year. I'm going to be down in Miami next week, kicking it off with our sales team. I'm going to finish the expansion of our sales team in the first quarter of the year, so we'll be back to full strength with that. So a lot of exciting stuff going on, man. Industry wide, personally with the LFD, it's 2022 is going to be a great year in the premium cigar business. It's just going to be fun.
So we have a comment from Chad Manson. I'd like to see more 10-count boxes. Love them. Was able to pick up quite a few this last year. Now, as a manufacturer, John, how do you respond to something like that? What is your thoughts on 10-count boxes?
I love 10-count boxes, and it can't just be 10-count boxes for the sake of having it a 10-count box. It's got to have the right product in it. It's either going to be somewhat of a value proposition, where, in my opinion, $100 or less for the price of the box, or a real high-end price point. You look at like the Davidoff 10 counts, like the Chef's Edition. I think it was like almost $500. Year of the Tiger. So the 10 counts really have their place. As I said, as a value proposition or as a high-end purchase with a small quantity of it. We do quite a bit of 10 count boxes, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's the the 20 counts and above are really what you end up moving more of, just because people grab them by the box or they grab them as individuals out of the retailer shelves.
Yep.
So you tend to see more of those out there simply because of that. But yeah, I think 10 count boxes is a great thing. But again, it can't just be done for the sake of doing it. It's got to have a strategy. It's got to be, like I said, $100 or less for the box of 10, or a high end product. Something in between is kind of tends to not be the most successful.
Yeah, and just from a consumer standpoint, I mean, especially, I feel like there's a lot of people who are, I don't want to call them cigar collectors, but they like the variety in their humidor, right? So they don't want to commit to something more than 10. You know, you like a stick, you want a handful of them in your arsenal, but you don't necessarily need 20 or more, right? So 10 is kind of, I feel like, a good count, so you don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess it depends on how you're looking at it
Yeah.
and who's looking at it, and I understand both sides of that
Yeah.
too. And I think again that's kind of why what John said makes sense, where they kind of have their place with certain things. Limited editions, really high ends, or kind of like John said, like around $100 for like a. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, finish your thought, because...
Well, no, I mean, that's really it. I just...
Well, limited editions, that's a whole topic in itself. I feel like this year there were so many limited edition cigars that came out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that we definitely saw a lot of limited editions, a lot of new stuff, a lot of, some of them we've already, mentioned and covered. So, and for me, I'm the kind of person, I love that stuff. So it's exciting for me to see. Some people maybe not so much. They're not into that stuff. Maybe they smoke different stuff, and that's fine too. But yeah, definitely seeing manufacturers get more creative with some of their releases too, which has been really nice.
Oh yeah,
really cool. I mean, you look at again with the Great Smoke, Abe has some of those limited TGS releases. Those were all small, 10 count releases.
They just did
the Steve Saka one was last night. I'm trying to remember who's next.
Talking about limited, Steve Saka, Stillwell Star.
That was
Stillwell
a very
Star. Innovative cigar.
Very interesting. The use of pipe tobacco inside a cigar. John,
did you guys smoke that?
Not yet. We have a bunch of them, but
we just have to.
We just haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, I mean, have you tried it yet?
But it's had glowing reviews. Like, it's had great reviews everywhere.
I really don't know why I haven't tried it. The newest cigar I've smoked that I really enjoyed, I smoked the Davidoff Year of the Tiger. That was ridiculously good.
Yeah, I haven't actually grabbed one of those yet, and I gotta do that before they're gone. But I have heard a lot of good things about that one.
And audience who are listening, curious to know if you smoked the Stillwell Star, what your thoughts are. Please share with us. And two, best, I guess, limited cigars that you've had this year that came out. Anything new that came out this year that you loved? That's what I want to know.
And Chad is letting us know that Espinosa is next. So I think it's Espinosa, and then I think Rim 101, and then I think there's one more. I think there's Ventura.
Yes.
I think is in there too. I think that's the last one. I could be wrong, but I know that they're in there too.
Yep.
In terms of the Great Smoke releases, so
sorry,
definitely keep an eye on those too.
Put it in, and that's interesting, even how they're doing their limited releases this year versus last year.
Well, yeah, if you were part of the Great Smoke last year and you were watching the broadcast and you were trying to get some of that stuff, you saw how crazy it kind of got, and then people were all upset after, and I get it too. I mean, some people were disappointed that kind of the way it went down. So I think they tried to do it a little differently this year by spreading it out more and giving people a better chance to do it. I get that too, and it seems to be working so far. I haven't heard much of people complaining about it, so it seems to be working well for them, which is nice to see. So hats off to them for that. Let's hit our news really quick.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Our news segment is brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. If you head over to McAuliffeCigars.com, you can sign up to be an official McAuliffe ambassador. We will receive an official coin number. And while you're at it, pick up a McAuliffe tasting passport for a chance to win some awesome prizes from McAuliffe Cigars. Rocky Patel, who we talked about before. Rocky Patel creates a cigar to support New York retailers. There is a new Rocky Patel cigar that has been created to support the New York Tobacconists Association, an advocacy group for New York cigar retailers. The NYTA Rocky Patel Empire went on sale this week as a 6x52 Toro made in Honduras using a blend of Honduran tobacco and Nicaraguan tobacco. The MSRP is set at $11.99 per cigar, and Rocky Patel Premium Cigars Inc. will be donating the proceeds of the sales of that cigar to the NYTA. I like that.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some like smaller support for cigar associations rather than just the whole thing. Not that we don't need that. We always need that on the grand scale, but seeing something why is it state specific? Sorry, I don't know why that was eluding me. Really, really interesting. Something a little bit different. We can always use stuff like that. John, what are your thoughts on that? He's muted.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, the train went by. No, the NYTA, I used to be really heavily involved with that when I was a sales rep up in the Northeast, and they're New York's one of the highest populated states in the country, and there's tons of great cigar retailers up there, and they have significant tax, liabilities in regards to shipping and premium tobacco products. So, I think it's great, and they do a great job up there. As New York's one of our top markets, so we love projects like that, and the NYTA has been, they've been pretty successful with some of their tax situations. There was a while there where they essentially had a cap, but all of that changed. I know they're back up to like 75% now. We'll see what happens in the future in that state. But anything the state organizations can do to get people involved in regards to the consumer base, and that's the concept with the Rocky Patel and any other exclusive that may be coming from the NYTA with that, is to get the consumers involved. Same concept with the CRA packs. Those types of situations. So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying before, it's great to see that kind of stuff. Always support the big organizations, but don't forget about your local organizations too. Some people earlier this year were upset with some things that happened in their state. It wasn't the end all be all, but one of the responses to that was, hey, we'll really get involved with your state cigar association as well. Find out how to help them, get information from them, whatever. Not just PCA and CAA and CRA and all them, but we always talk about, but also your local organizations too. That's a big deal. So always don't forget about them. That's the best thing I can say with that.
And I love all these releases. There are other ones that they've had releases where portions have gone to charity. So Rare Pink was one that we saw.
Yes.
Also the Namakubi, I believe, was
Alzheimer's.
Was for Alzheimer's.
Yep.
And so
Rare Pink was for breast cancer.
Yep. But I think those are great. And as a consumer, I wouldn't mind paying a few dollars more to support something.
Yeah.
Even as for it being limited edition or whatnot.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Arturo Fuente's Heaven and Earth collection, the Fuente Age selection that they do with their really high-end Opus stuff. All that stuff goes. I don't even know if most people realize this. The sales from that all goes to Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. That's what that's mostly for.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, like Purple Rain, Rare Black, and the BBMFs, all that stuff, Opus 22, that all goes to Cigar Family Charitable Foundation, which is huge and gives so much to those kids in the Dominican.
And actually, should we?
We should. This is a good segue.
This is a great segue. So today, we sort of finalized our timeline for our second annual Smokin Tabacco anniversary charity raffle. Mouthful right there. For the Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. So last year for our anniversary, we had this wild raffle that morphed into something way bigger than we ever anticipated. So at first we were just going to partner with Fuente and raise money. So we had sold some of our swag for raffle tickets, and then just sold raffle tickets for all these wild prizes. And what ended up happening is so many other people and manufacturers and brands in the industry reached out, and they were like, oh, hey, we want to donate to you and give raffle prizes, to increase the sales money taken in, I should say, for that. And so just the generosity of everyone involved was so great, and we ended up with over 40 prizes, raising over $7,000. And this year we have decided that we want to raise $10,000. So we are upping the ante this year, and we are going to launch this raffle March 1st. So that is going to be the kickoff date. We are going to have a special kickoff show, just where we showcase some of these prizes, and it will run for 8 weeks. And we're going to try to raise $10,000 in 8 weeks for the Scar Family Charitable Foundation.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the turnout from all of the fans, the viewers, the listeners, that really came out and donated. And
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of cool prizes up for grabs and stuff
Oh my
too.
God.
Like, I get it, but the bigger picture is where the money went.
Yep.
And I can tell you, the Fuente family and the Newman family were very, very happy with the donation that they received towards Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. And then I just I wanted to do it again because it's such a great cause and it's such a great thing, and I wanted to try and up it from last year. So I was like, well, we did 7, let's go for 10.
Yeah.
It was our first run. We learned a lot from it. So using what we learned from that, we plan to be even better this coming year.
Yep.
So trying to get more prizes, more stuff. Run it a little bit longer, I think.
Yep.
I'm gonna sneeze.
That's
Excuse
okay.
me. Sorry.
Last time we did a 6-week, I think, run, and so this time we're going to do 8 weeks. And it'll be a great opportunity again to win some rare things. We already have
Maybe
some.
not.
Oh, okay. Guess not. But last year we had, very rare Fuente cigars. Some interesting stuff. We Drew Estate. We had that painting last year. Are you okay?
Yeah. Sorry. I just dropped dash on my keyboard.
Sure. Okay. So we have some interesting prizes, and hopefully more to come on that.
Yeah, actually, I think speaking of the Antonio, I think we're actually going to have that part of the raffle too.
Yep.
So if you saw that online and you were really curious about it, you're probably going to have a chance to win that in the raffle that we have coming up. So keep an eye out for that, in addition to so many other great things. So yeah, again, I want to thank everyone who donated money, who donated prizes, everyone who's involved. Huge shout out to the Fuente and Newman families. It's their charity, so a huge shout out to them. And yeah, we're going bigger this year. That's it.
Go big or go home.
That's what I got. So hopefully we can do that, and I'm really excited to see how that comes together.
And maybe John can do that extended broadcast again.
Oh yeah, he did so good with that.
Oh man.
After like the 2-hour mark, I think he was definitely he was a little sloshed on the wine, but he held it together pretty good, and he kept going. I think it was like 12.
It's a long time, man. It's a long time.
We started at what, 7? You were still going at 12 o'clock.
We should do a watch party and just reshare that broadcast because that was one of the best ones, I think, of the year.
Yeah, we had guests popping in. I mean, it got out of control.
Yeah, people were just coming in.
Saying
who I know Cynthia came in.
Yep, Cynthia Fuente.
And she watched the whole thing, which was awesome.
Yep.
And she hung out she hung out till 1 o'clock. When I signed off, she said goodnight.
Yeah, she was there. She was all excited.
Yep.
Dan Thompson, I think, came on. Kurt Kendall came on. Did Terrence Riley come on?
He might have.
I don't remember. There was so many people, and I was like, because we had to go, because we were flying down to Miami the next day, and we had to get all the packages ready to go so that they could go out while we were gone. And so we were like, listen, we want to stay. John, you can keep rolling, but we got to go. And so we were listening to it, and we were watching it, and you did such a great job. Well, you might have to do that again.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. We're going to raise $10,000 plus. It's going to be excellent. We'll have some great raffle items. I mean, this is going to be huge. We're going to blow it out of the park this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. And as I said, just stay tuned for more. We'll be giving you guys more information as it is available. Another thing that we're going to be rolling out in the next week is going to be our Smokin Tabacco Awards.
Yes.
Which we're really excited about. We have a bunch of awards we're going to be giving away. Man of the Year, Woman of the Year, Brand of the Year, Factory of the Year, to name a few. And there'll be more than that. So we're really excited to roll those out. But we have already played out our cigar of the year. We started with our top 25 list that we had put out, and then we did our countdown of our top 10. And as we mentioned last week, and as you might have seen if you follow us on social media or if you visit the website, Undercrown 10 from Drew Estate has officially been announced as our 2021 Cigar of the Year. So congratulations to Drew Estate. We're really proud for them. Great cigar. Their rollout of that cigar was really cool. The way they did the freestyle event with the unbanded cigars, you got to guess what it is, and then they had the unveiling event. That was really cool. So, and the cigars were awesome. I've been smoking those nonstop all year. So that was but again, the top 3 cigars, I feel they were all really good. All 25 were good. The top 10 were really strong, but even the top 3, I remember just being like, man, these are.
And let's go over the top 10. Let's read them off.
Yeah,
Want me
go
to read
ahead.
them
Sure.
off?
Yeah, go ahead.
So our number 1 was the Drew Estate Undercrown 10 Toro. Number 2 was All Saints Cigars St. Francis, the Robusto.
That cigar was fucking awesome.
The Rocky Patel 60 was number 3.
Great cigar.
Number 4 was the J.C. Newman, the American Double Robusto, which came out this year.
That's a really unique cigar, too. I mean, it's
super
awesome.
unique.
Oh, so good.
Number 5 was the Perdomo 10th Anniversary Maduro Epicure.
It's my favorite Perdomo Maduro of all time.
Number 6, the McAuliffe A. Churchill.
Great
Amazing.
cigar. Probably their best cigar yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Number 7, the Plasencia Alma Fuerte Colorado Sixto.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Plasencia, can I just say really quick, Plasencia has just been doing such a great job lately. Some of the stuff they put out. And that one was just no exception. I mean, the first time I had that cigar, it was actually the 3 of us, and we were at City Cigar in Miami. And I remember having that cigar, and I was just like, damn, this cigar is good. I love that cigar. And I love the shape, too. It's so unique.
And the innovation with the band.
Yeah, and
Let's
then
talk
later,
about
later on, they announced that they were going to have an NFC chip in the back of the band, where when it gets close to your phone, it'll bring up information about the cigar. That's another innovation that I think we kind of forgot about. That we're probably going to see more and more of going forward is these special near-field communication chips on bands, or I think some of them might even just do QR codes. But
even in the shop, having that, you walk into some shops and, they don't have a lot of information, next to the box or anything like that. And I feel like having something like that would help consumers just kind of educate themselves if there's not enough, manpower in the store or anything like that. People want to know what they're smoking. They want to know the notes. They want to learn. So just, talking about that.
Absolutely.
I feel like as lots of industries are going to take on that technology. So just moving on. Number 8 was the Monte Cristo 1935 Anniversary Nicaragua Churchill. Number 9, the Jake Wyatt Lithium Bellicoso. And then number 10 was the HVC Hot Cake Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Canyon.
Yeah, really good cigar. Yeah, I mean, even putting together the top 10 was tough to do. I mean, there was a lot of good cigars, a lot of good contenders. My blanket statement out there to everyone who was like, why wasn't I not Cigar of the Year? Why was I not in the top 10? Why was I not in the top 25? Look, it's hard, man. There's a lot of cigars that come out. Yep. They're all really good. But it's not a single decision. It's a decision that's kind of voted on internally with multiple people that we have. And it just kind of laid the way it did. And that's it, really. And that's all I'll really say. I mean, there's next year, and there's going to be a whole different list next year. There's going to be a new winner next year. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, like as I said. And there's a lot of good contenders. Everyone does it kind of differently. We do it our own way. Coop does it their way. The Half Wheel Consensus is done a certain way. Cigar Aficionado's done a certain way. Tobacco Business does it a certain way. So Cigar Journal does it a certain way. So everyone does it different. I think you'll still see a lot of similarities on these lists too. I think there's a good handful of cigars I think you're all going to see on every list and in similar positions.
I mean, we already saw some similarities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely not a lot. There's not a lot of surprises on that list. There's some, our list in general. But there's definitely a lot out there. So.
Absolutely.
Um,
And then we did have a question from Dan Thompson, who did ask Smokin Tabacco Super Bowl halftime show this year.
Oh.
Of course.
John, I forgot about that.
Of course.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
we
to do that
did.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. So I'll be on Coop's show on February 8th doing the big game show that we do every year.
Yeah.
That's become a tradition, so that'll be fun. And yeah, we'll do the Smokin Tabacco halftime show with LFD. We'll have that going on. We'll be smoking special football editions, and that'll be either live. I'll either be here in Orlando or I'll be in California. So I'm not sure. I haven't finalized that yet.
I don't even
But
know
we
the
will
date.
do the halftime show, and we'll do a post game show too.
Well, it's the first Sunday in February, so
Oh,
I don't know the date, but that's
and
when
there
it
we
is.
go, because I don't watch sports.
But yeah, no, the Super Bowl is
Not
going to be
sports.
it's at SoFi this year, right?
Yeah, it's actually the second Sunday this year, I believe. Because
Oh, it is.
They have the
Yeah.
17 game season.
Ooh, so
Oh,
it's
that's
the
true. That's true. So
Yeah,
the Super
so
Bowl
it's a
has
week- it's
changed.
the next, yeah.
second
So,
Sunday, February 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll be ready to roll. Actually, you know what? I'll probably be in Orlando because the next day is Valentine's Day. So, but yeah, we'll be doing that halftime show. So get ready. As soon as the halftime show hits, we'll be going live immediately.
Absolutely, and we'll talk all about how well Tom Brady does, in the first half. So just throwing that out there. We'll talk about all the plays that Tom makes in the first half against whoever he ends up playing. A lot of good teams this year, but I think it's safe to say Tom will make another run.
That halftime show was one of our most viewed segments, shows, or whatever it was of the entire year. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many people tuned into that and the after show?
And we didn't even pump that up or promote it.
No, we didn't decide to do it until the game started.
Yeah.
You and I
Yeah.
were going back and forth.
So-
We're like, hey,
so-
we should do a halftime show. And I
So
was like,
for
all
a-
right, let's do it.
So for a last minute thing, you're right. We've done pretty well with that. But yeah, we'll definitely plan on doing it again this year. That was a really fun one. I forgot
Yeah.
all about that one. That one was really fun.
There's so many great things that happen. It's a whole year.
I know.
There's a lot of things.
You forget, sometimes it goes by so quick that when you get to the end and you look back, you don't realize how much has actually happened in that time. So, and that's why this show is always fun, because we can actually take a minute to stop and be like, oh, wow, I forgot about that. And, oh, yeah, that was great. And you actually take that all in at once.
Hey, we didn't even mention yet. We got engaged this year.
Yeah, we got engaged this year as well. John was not the only one
Yeah.
to start his foundation. We did as well back in July at PCA in Las Vegas. So yeah, there was that too.
Yeah.
It's just been a very rewarding year, I would say, for a lot of people, for everybody, really. Nothing too even on the FDA front and the legislative stuff up there. There was some good stuff to come out of DC this year. With the stoppage of the substantial equivalence, and we had Glenn Loop on a few weeks ago talking about the change of the head of the FDA. I'm very excited about that. At least Glenn was. I was very excited about that change. So yeah, I mean, good things all around on all fronts, really.
I'm
which I
excited.
think is good considering the year we had before, which was probably one of the worst years of all time, arguably, depending on who you ask, for everybody, all around. So yeah, 2021 was kind of the year that made it a little bit better, I think. 2020 was the year that didn't happen. 2021 was the year that made it better. So 2022 has to be even better. So I'm really excited for that.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And we have a lot planned. So we're already kicking off the year by going to TPE at the end of January. So
Yep.
you'll see a lot of coverage from us there. For those of you who didn't tune into our PCA coverage of last year, so this is our first TPE, and what we will be doing is going around and doing 5-minute segments only.
Short
and
clips.
Very short clips of just seeing what's new out there and what companies are bringing to TPE, if anything. And that's it. Just 5 minutes, boom, done. And getting them up as quickly as possible. But that'll be fun. So we're kicking off the year doing that. We're going to be at the Great Smoke in February, which will be phenomenal as well. And PCA again. Perhaps some out of the country trips later this year or later next year.
Yes, there is the strong possibility that we will be traveling internationally in 2022, probably to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for some very exclusive factory content that we could be putting out as well.
Yep.
Just to kind of lightly tease that there. We haven't really finalized that yet, but it's something that we're working on planning right now. So
It's coming. We need some Smokin Tabacco coverage from some farms.
we
in
do.
rolling
We do.
rooms.
And, there's a lot of great places down there.
Yep.
La Flor Dominicana is definitely one that we will be at when we do go. That is, among many others that I don't want to say yet until we finalize
Yes.
our plans with those manufacturers. But there's a handful, more than a handful of manufacturers that we have already been discussing with about visiting down there. So keep an eye out for that because that's going to be some really, really cool stuff. And you know what? There's not a lot of strong coverage from those areas too. Like there's stuff out there, you can find it online, but there's not a lot of video and stuff like that. And I want to give out just a little bit of a shout out to Aganorsa, who's actually done a really good job of getting a lot more video and photo content out there. They have Gil now, who does a lot of
Yep.
stuff with them, really showcasing what they have going on down in Nicaragua. Really, really cool stuff. And I think there definitely needs to be more of that. So that's definitely on our radar, and that's kind of what we're shooting for next.
Yep.
So I'm really excited for that. Like I said, I can't say too much yet because it all hasn't really been finalized, but there's something there and there's something coming. So just stay tuned for that. And I think you're going to like what we want to do. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. John, you're more
Talk
quiet.
to me.
You're more quiet on this episode than you normally are. A lot of people know John Carney as being a very chatty Cathy
Wait.
on
Well,
trade shows, on these talk shows.
Do we get a soap review tonight?
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think of that.
I have my bathroom door unlocked, so for the outside, so we could do a soap review. No, you guys were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. And then I'm getting over a cold, so that was kind of annoying. So I'm getting over that, and I still got a little lag from the travel. And we just celebrated Christmas with my wife's immediate family yesterday. Last night, and we may have heavily indulged, so I'm a little tired today as well.
Oh, that means
Fair.
John drank a lot of wine last night and he's feeling it. So that's exactly what that means. I will tell you firsthand because I've been there with him so many times. He is
Yeah, we had
a wine
we had
hangover
two
right now.
real nice bottles of Stag's Leap. I had the Stag's Leap Chase Creek from 2017. I had a 2018 bottle of Cask 23, so two real high-end wines. That was nice. So we enjoyed that. I enjoyed one of these cigars last night too by the fire after everybody left, and yeah, it was awesome, man. We had a blast. It was great.
We actually enjoyed a bottle of Stag's Leap Wine Cellars SLV from the Cask 23 Club.
Oh, ooh.
Yes.
We
made that with our beef tenderloin, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
So-
it was great. That was a great bottle of wine. I haven't really been drinking a lot of wine lately. Just kind of, I don't know, not for any reason, but been drinking more wine the last week or so, getting back into wine, and that was just a phenomenal bottle, really. It's really got me thinking about joining the Cask 23 Club. I think you're still a member of that. Are you still a member of the Cask 23?
I am. I ended it this last year. Because I'm still doing the Gary V Wine Club, and then I did end I had a couple of shipments that got screwed up with the Cask 23 Club, so I put it on hold for the end of this year. I'm going to probably get back into it at the end of next year. My wife and I are planning a trip out to Napa at some time next year, so I'll probably join it back up next year. The problem I have, here's what happens to it. It's like $400, all right? And you get like 2 or 3 bottles, and they're always great bottles, and they're bottles that really you ought to sit on and keep for an extended period of time, but they come in and I drink them. So like I went through like $480 worth of wine last night in 2 bottles. I just don't want to regularly do that, and I have no self-control with the wine that comes in because I want to drink it and enjoy it with friends, family. So I was just like, the way to have me stop drinking, $200-$300 bottles of wine on a regular basis and, making a financial commitment towards that was to just stop it. So So I stopped
Fair.
for a brief time. I will end up doing it again, but I just ended the year. I was like, I can't do that. New baby, that kind of stuff. That's like childcare for a month.
You have to be a responsible dad, John. You
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah. So sometimes being responsible is just taking away the temptation. But yeah, I love it. Stag Leap's some of my favorite stuff, and that SLV you had is fantastic. That's proprietary. Single vineyard vintage. So it's all grapes from the Stag's Leap vineyard. So like Chase Creek is from one of their growers. There's another one called Botello, which is really nice, from another one of their providers that provides grapes. SLV is strictly 100% from there. So it'd be like smoking an Opus X or like an LG. It's 100% Dominican from Puente or LFD, or 100% Nicaraguan when you smoke some of those cigars from Nicaragua. Like Nick Perdomo's got Nicaraguan puros. So the same concept as that, but 100% from SLV. So that's a great wine that you guys had.
And I think also for next year, in terms of the show, I know we have a lot of cigar industry guests that come on, but I think it's time too that we sprinkle in some alcohol pairing episodes for people. Maybe having like a rum episode, a tequila episode, a whiskey episode,
Absolutely.
a wine episode, where we actually dive in and get some great brands that pair with specific cigars, where the pairing is just perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect marriage.
That's
there.
definitely something we're going to work on next year as well. I do want to hit our top 3 segment really quick, because I have a very interesting one for John.
Ooh. All right, top 3.
Our top 3 is brought to you by Room 101. Room 101 Brands is more than just a brand; it's a lifestyle. Check out Room 101 cigars, Room 101 gin, fantastic gin. And I don't like gin, but I like that one. And while you're at it, go check out room101.com. Check out all of their jewelry and apparel that they have. It's really awesome stuff.
And they are having a sale right now, 30% off on Room101.com.
They are. Good call.
On their jewelry and whatnot, not on cigars, but
yes,
30% off, I believe, right now.
Yeah, go over to room101.com and check that out and take advantage of that sale while you can. So, John, our top 3 tonight is going to be just for you. It doesn't have to be exclusive to soap reviews, but what were your top 3 favorite soaps that you discovered this year? It could be just like something that you bought at the grocery store for like the sink in the kitchen. You were like, wow, this is really nice. No review, but like just whatever you found. You were like, wow.
Wow. I will say Trader Joe's has some seasonal soaps. There was a pumpkin spice one that my wife got. This year I really was basic white girl. I got into the pumpkin spice thing quite heavily. And by the way, did you know on the front of the Apple computer on the front left side there's a magnet?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know that.
Is that a MagSafe? Like, can I put something there and charge it?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
My Fuente cutter is sticking there, and it's awesome. It's not moving or anything.
Isn't it just for their charger? Like, because it sticks in? I think.
No, he's talking about like up here.
Oh.
On the yeah.
Yeah, it's like on the. Yeah, I'm gonna put something there and see if it charges. So that soap, the pumpkin spice thing, was one that was a little shocking to me that I liked it. So that was really good. It had really good feel to it. I'm not gonna say that was number one because I know what my number one was. Pine tar continues to be my favorite Squatch thing. I love the pine tar. That's fantastic. But my favorite find of the year is still Dr. Squatch is just doing some creative stuff. They got some great licensing agreements. I got that set of the Star Wars set of the Dr. Squatch.
Oh, I remember that.
Was
yeah.
over the top. Yeah. There's like Darth Maul in it, Yoda, Stormtrooper, I think, in it, and then Darth Vader. That's probably my favorite find of the year. I thought that was a really cool set when it popped up. I liked that a lot. The most underwhelming one for me was honestly the American soap, the red, white, and blue one. It was kind of, it was dull. But yeah, I'll say that the one that shocked me when I randomly used it was that pumpkin, and it's the one that comes in the liquid. It's like a watery one, but it came out really foamy. I thought that was great. And then the Squatch Pine Tar remains top soap of all time. And then my best favorite find was the Squatch soap. But yeah, I'm going to try to do some stuff outside of Dr. Squatch. I got some great collections. I think this year, what I'm going to start to do is I start to travel again significantly more. Is I'm going to start doing soap reviews from hotel soaps. So I'm going to grab soaps from on the road,
Really?
bring them back, and try them. Yep, because I have a few that I've already collected so far. So I think for my resolution for the soap in 2022 is I'm going to start doing soap reviews and talking about soaps from hotels.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I like
You
that.
know, that's a good concept because a lot of times, like, I mean, I bring a lot of my own stuff when I travel. I bring everything because I like to have all my own stuff. But a lot of times, you do find the soaps in the hotel rooms are like, ooh, it's like, oh, this is nice, it's luxurious, it's fancy. Like the Hotel Haya.
I was just gonna say that.
In
So
Tampa?
Mhm.
Hotel Haya, their soap stuff amazing, and
Oh, yeah.
then I looked it up. Their body wash is like really expensive. Actually, I ended up buying it because I loved it, but it was really good. It was really
A
good.
lot of times you
I
just-
like-
All I'm going to say, though, is to our friends at JC Newman, when they start opening their hotel and they want some consulting on soaps, you know who to ask.
Oh,
the soap connoisseur.
oh, absolutely.
That should be you should have like just a whole nother page.
I
the
thought it
soap
was funny
connoisseur.
when the first time Nick Perdomo came on the show. John, you were with us the second time. I think it was me, you, and Nick, right?
I've been with both. I've been to both the Knicks appearances.
And the first one, I think you'll remember because we ended up we had a sports segment previously on the show, which we got into, and he wasn't too interested, and I was shocked because he's such a sports guy. And I was like, really? Nick Perdomo? Like, this dude has got like every jersey in his office. Loves sports, loves football, Roll Tide. And we were like, okay, whatever. And we moved on. We got to the soap segment. He was so fascinated with that soap segment. I was like, really? I thought he was going to be like, what the hell is this? Why am I on here? And he was like into it. Which was
Again, I
so
think
cool.
the second show was the last time he was on. I think it was the last show that I was on, and it was right before the baby came because we were guessing baby dates, and his little granddaughter was born, and he and I were texting back and forth. That was nice. So congratulations to them. I'm sure they're all doing great. But I think he was a little disappointed that we didn't have soap that day.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting out in my garage because it was pouring rain here in Orlando, and I had the computer on the back of my truck, and that was an adventure. But yeah, he was really into this. I think that's the thing that's most surprising, how many people have like really did engage in it. I think the hotel soap game is going to be a game changer because people want to know about what we do on the road,
Yeah.
what our experiences are like, and it's going to be a really great chance for me to capture hotel bathrooms and get pictures. I think I'll do a more pictorial type review kind of concepts than just video. But that'll be coming up in 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think, a lot of times you go to, especially even if it's at least a halfway decent hotel, sometimes you get surprised there's some sweet soaps in there. Most of the Vegas hotels, very luxurious too, so usually you find them in there. Hotel Hire in Tampa had it, as Nicole said, really nice stuff. But you're right. When we're on the road and you travel, like what do you find in your room just waiting for you? If I remember correctly, didn't I try when we were in Florida? There was one hotel we were at because we stayed at a bunch of hotels in Florida this year. I feel like there was it Hotel Hyatt when I texted John because you guys stayed there too, and I was like, bro, did you see the soap in the bathroom?
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
it
we
was
gotta review that.
Yeah, it was Hotel Hyatt, and that place was fantastic. And we got we got rooms were right next to each other essentially.
Yeah.
So I could see you out on your balcony. But my last trip of the year was to Omaha, Nebraska, other than being up in the Northeast. So I flew out to Omaha and I stayed at this hotel called the Farnham. It's brand new. It just opened up. It's part of the autograph collection. And I had the shower I had, the whole, I don't have my phone, so I don't know if I can show this, but the whole shower was like a room, and it had about 20 different water spouts. It had built-in Bose speakers that were Bluetooth.
What?
To fill the bathtub up, it came out of the ceiling. It just dropped down in. So I took like 5 showers in the short time I was there. I was there for one night, and their soap was epic. and so wasn't their hand lotions. So I saved all of that stuff. That's what kind of inspired me to do that. It was called the Farnham, and I got an upgrade, and the suite was called the Billionaire Suite. It was super cool. It was a really good way to end the year, and we had a great event out there. But that's what inspired me on the soap, because I'm like, man, I'm running into this stuff. There are some perks with traveling as much as you do, you know, upgrades and different things. And the soap there, I'm like, this is the next generation of reviewing soap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it did start in the airport terminals.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've come full circle to it's still travel themed, but now it's just in the hotel rooms, which I think is going to be a very interesting take. So we're excited to see that. Nicole, we do have our final winner to announce for our giveaway.
We do.
This is the final winner, so it is over by now if you've been following along. So that it'll be done. There's no more. Also, for the previous winners, I got to ask this. If you didn't know, the winnings will all be shipped after tonight. We were waiting until all 4 winners were crowned, and we're going to ship them all together. So if you didn't get it yet, that's why we're just shipping them all together at the same time. So just it is still coming. Don't worry. We just wanted to send all the packages together.
Yeah.
And so just keep an eye out for those going forward after tonight. What is this? There's a question here.
Which one?
Oh, interesting question. And John, I'll let you even start on this one. I am new to the cigar world, so my question is, what's the best way to store my cigars if I don't yet have a humidor? John, I'll let you start, and I'll chime in.
My recommendation, if you don't have a humidor and you're going to be getting one, or you're holding off, if you have a small amount of cigars, my recommendation are small, like Ziploc bags or the large gallon ones. You can just drop in the little Boveda packs. Those are great. That's a really easy way to store cigars. If you're waiting on getting a substantial humidor and you have a lot of cigars, the best thing to do is to go get an ice cooler, like that you can get at Target, Walmart.
Like an Igloo or a Coleman?
Yeah, an Igloo cooler. Yep. Just get one of those, throw the Boveda packs in there, and put your cigars in. That's the best way to do it. The cooler doesn't absorb moisture, so the cigars will be the only thing absorbing from that reverse osmosis system of the Boveda packs. And that's my recommendation. Now, my wife got me I think it's called Endu. It's a cooler. It's like a humidor cooler.
Oh, the Audu.
And
yeah.
So she got me one of those. It's freaking awesome, and it was a cool surprise. And so I'm using that right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, those are always cool. Yeah, I mean, anything really like that you can seal, because that's part of it too, is, you know, you want to keep the seal on it to keep that moisture and the humidity content inside. So yeah, plastic Tupperware, plastic bags, coolers, even, you know what, and you've used these, and I've used it too. You know the foam cooler that they ship steaks in?
Yep.
Like if you save one of those, we got one, and I purposely told Nicole, like, no, we're saving that, because it's a good size little thing to, like, if you have like some boxes and a bunch of singles, you go into an event or something. It's a great way to just throw them in there. It's temporary. It's not going to be like your long-term solution, but it works in the short term. It'll keep them fresh.
I use one. I have a cabinet humidor up in Maine, but I use one of those foam containers for some of my boxes up in Maine, so it can be a permanent solution. Obviously, I don't have it out on display, but I do have 10, 15 boxes of cigars in one that I've been using for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways that you can tackle this. The next step up from the plastic bags would be just a travel humidor. So you have your Pelican case, and you'll see, at a lot of retailers, they sell like usually the 5-count ones, but you can buy a Pelican brand and take the foam out, and it's a waterproof, airtight container.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, one of my travel humidors is actually I think it's the Pelican 1150, which is mostly used, I would say, like as a handgun case, given its shape and its size.
Yeah.
Or it could be used for like small electronics. But it's a good, handheld, probably about the size of this Arturo Fuente box. But it has that seal on it too, so you can put cigars, a Poveda in there, and it clamps shut, seals. So that works. When we came back from Florida, we have a big suitcase size Pelican for all of our equipment, and we bought a lot of stuff down in Florida. And I used that to get all my cigars home because I was like, well, I can put them all in here. And I threw a bunch of Boveda packets in there, and I closed it shut, and I took it right on the plane. That kept them all nice and fresh. So yeah, there's tons of options out there that you can use, other than just a standard, wooden box or cabinet humidor.
The only thing I would say is make sure that, with some of the lower end options like a Ziploc bag or whatever, invest in maybe like one of the Cigar Medic things to check the humidity on the cigars.
Oh,
or
yeah.
even just a little, I don't know what they're called, the really tiny, like digital ones that you buy. There's like a pack of 12, like it's $12 for like a pack of 4 on.
You talking about little like digital hygrometers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a little one.
Yeah, just so you can keep track of it.
Yeah, because, certain things too, if they're not sealing correctly, you want to know. So you do want to make sure you're monitoring these things to make sure that, your cigars are being taken care of.
Absolutely.
And so, there's ways to do that as well if you're on a budget. So lots of different options, and we could even have like a whole episode just on
there's a lot of things we can
on
cover.
humidors from budget to high end. Like there's a lot that can be discussed there.
Absolutely. So do we have a winner for that giveaway?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Kind of got all turned around there.
No. Do you want to announce?
No, go ahead. I'll let you do
right.
this one.
So our winner, I am not sure of his name, but his handle is pipes_tobaccos_cigars_smoke. And he is going to be the last winner of our giveaway, and that is for the
big bag.
The big bag.
The big bag, which I can't even close because it's so full.
Yeah.
But the big bag of cigars from our personal humidors
Yep.
that we each kind of like pick some singles out of different stuff and put it all together. So congratulations to all of the winners in the giveaway. All of your prizes will be shipped out. Thank you for everyone who contributed, played along, participated. Yep. Sorry, is what I was really looking for. It was really fun. We love doing those from time to time, so it was really awesome to do that for the holidays and kind of give some stuff away. But then, of course, we do have the charity raffle coming up, so we'll be giving more stuff away, so don't miss that. I think we really covered everything that I wanted to cover tonight in terms of our year in review. Do either of you have anything you want to add?
It was a great year. I'm looking forward to the new year starting soon. A lot of great, exciting things in the industry, personal-wise. A lot of fulfilling things going on in my personal life. And it's just been a great year, man. Looking back, there's so much stuff's gone on. I just know everything's going to be even more exciting next year. So this is a great wrap-up and a great chance to reminisce, and glad to be back on the show. And I'll be back on a little bit more as the year starts. So we'll hopefully see me around a little bit more as I get into a little more of a normal routine. But no, it's been great. Thank you guys for having me as part of everything. I really loved the top 10 list this year. And I was looking at the website quite a bit during the show. If people haven't jumped on, there's a lot of great stuff on the website. I'm really impressed with how that's looking. So smokintabacco.com, a great place to jump on. And see some resources on industry news and just on odds and ends of different show stuff. And we got new gourmet smoke sessions coming next year, a bunch of new cigars coming for that, some fun new concepts for season 2, and all sorts of exciting things happening at LFD. So it's button up, put your tray tables and seat backs in the full upright and lock position. This plane's about to take off for a great year.
Boom.
Boom. Wow. What a way to end the show.
And it's great that you brought up the website. So we are doing some revamping just to make it a little bit more streamlined. So with the website, that's where you're going to find cigar industry news is really just kind of what we're pushing with that. Obviously, it links to all of our other content, but we are pushing for just you to, as a viewer, to be able to click on it and just get to the latest cigar news. And especially as we do coverage of the trade shows going into this year, just making it more user friendly. So there's that. And I know we don't ask very often to do this, but please like and subscribe, especially on YouTube. That's super helpful for us. So, if you haven't done that, we would really appreciate it. We don't say that enough, I feel like, but it is important.
Always like and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
We love having you guys along.
So I have one thing. What you guys taking it easy for New Year's Eve, you said, right? You're going to be laying low this year?
Yep.
Yeah, just kind of chilling.
I'm doing a family murder mystery.
Wow.
So
whoa.
My wife and I are throwing a murder mystery party, a 1920s themed murder mystery.
There has been a
tomorrow.
murder in Savannah.
Yep,
Whoever knows
I will
that,
be playing-
you're awesome.
Sorry.
That's is that from the Garden of the?
No,
Good
no,
and
no,
Evil?
Nope, I know where it's
no,
from.
nope. It's from a very popular television show.
And you're gonna kick yourself.
There has been a murder in Savannah.
The Office.
Yeah. So I said you're gonna kick yourself
So-
if you don't know it.
So that's going to be a great time. My role is a gangster. I'll be playing a mobster. That'll be exciting. We'll be posting some pictures and stuff up of that, and I'll be smoking some cigars tomorrow night. And the cool thing is, this is where the house we're hosting it at is my mother-in-law's house. It's right across the lake from Disney World. So we're going to get the Disney World New Year's Eve
Oh,
fireworks
Ooh,
at midnight.
good for you.
That is gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I want to see some. I want to see some video of that. Should go live. I want to see that. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. See.
And tomorrow night, we are keeping it low key here. We are doing C&C, so cigars and Chinese food.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. But we actually, for those of you, if you are also laying low, I just feel like a lot of people are, getting sick lately. And if you're staying in this year, great. We might either plan a herf or hop into someone else's herf. So you'll see us around. And if we do, we'll share it. So check out our
absolutely.
page tomorrow if you want to. I feel like,
Jump on and hang out.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to hang out with people. So if you're keeping it, low key, we can smoke together still. we love that.
Absolutely. It's been a while since we've done that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely circle back to that one, and hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna do it. That's really gonna do it for 2021 for us here at Smokin Tabacco. This is the end right here. This is the end. So in closing, thank you to everybody for always supporting us and everything that we do. Thank you to everyone who's helped us along the way, and congratulations to Drew Estate Cigar of the Year. Everyone who made the list, congrats to the winners who have yet to be announced. We'll do that soon.
Thank you to all of our supporters.
Thank you to all of our supporters. Absolutely. We can't stress that enough. We can't do what we do without you. McAuliffe Cigars, JC Newman, Room 101, Drew Estate,
LFD.
Absolutely.
Two Guys.
Two Guys Cigars. So really thank you guys for being here with us and believing in us. We really appreciate it. And that's all I got. So we'll see you next year in 2022, which is on Tuesday with Abe DeBabna from Smokin. All right.
That's our next one.
Happy New Year!
Yay. Happy New Year, everybody. Take care.
Woo.
We'll see you on Tuesday.
All right. Bye, everyone.